Hey, Wagwan, Keloke, what's going on, guys? So I'm back at it again with another video. I'm gonna make this a little bit short. I just wanted to explain basically why I created a ban list with the help of Kaizen guides. I'll pop up his channel so you guys can come check it out. I have a video playing in the background of the tournament. The online tournament, the scene itself is full of high-level competitive players. Now, it took me over 2 months to create this and perfect this. I've had countless of people ask me, bro, when is it that you're gonna host your own small tournaments for the casuals? Since I always speak about casual players. Now, I've been trying to brainstorm and really think about and plan ahead. How do I create a safe place where casual players can enjoy themselves, where there's not spamming, there's not broken jutsus, there's just not broken characters while allowing these tournaments. So shout out to Shonen Games. Shonen Games had hosted a tournament in New York City, and I went. I also promoted it in a video. A lot of people did show up. Some people actually showed up because of me, which was pretty dope. And again, I appreciate you guys that did show up for the first tournament. And I remember I had an idea, and I lost to all matches, but I had an idea. I remember I was watching, sitting down, and I'm like, man, this would be dope for the little guys. This would be dope for like the non-high level players, because I was put against a high level player like Henry Flo. Henry Flo is a well-known Naruto Storm player now. His main character in the game is Minato, live Minato. He has skills. Now, that being said, it's very tough for a casual to play against someone like that, because there's certain things that high level players do that casuals can't understand, right? For example, when I was creating this ban list, I remember when I was talking to Kaizen Guides and some of his friends that were in this group chat. We were talking about it and going over it, and they wanted to ban dash cuts, other things, and something about a lock system where when a character throws a kunai, it locks you in for 2 seconds. And in my head, I was just like, whoa, what is all this information about? Because all I want to do is ban characters. I don't want to ban characters because of dash cuts. I had no clue what dash cuts are. I had no clue. I'm a casual player. Now, in a casual player's eyes, we don't care about those types. All we want to do is win. That's the main objective of a casual player and a high level. These are the only two things that I've noticed that they have in common. We're all aiming to win. Now, there's a difference between competitive players and low level. It's in this game is very complex to learn. You can't just pick it up, and it takes years of experience to learn a storm. So for anybody, for competitive players trying to compare this game to Tekken, to Street Fighter, to Dragon Ball FighterZ, you cannot compare this game to those games at all in a high level player. I mean, a high level stance, because this game is such a unique anime arena fighters game. This game is so unique in itself that I think, personally, that this deserves a ban list because of how unique this game plays. This game needs rules and regulations because, again, there's things in this game that CC2 designed, and I don't know if it was on purpose. Actually, CC2 stated before Storm Connections even dropped that they didn't make this game competitively. They didn't. But the tools are there. There's tools in there that make it seem like they tried to make it competitively. You know what I mean? It's hard to explain. So there's tools in this game that can make a competitive tournament scene, right? But the thing is, with this game, it's very unique, again, because this is an anime arena fighters game. And two, there's characters in this game that you can basically exploit their moves, and it's basically unfair to even want to play against someone. For example, if you're playing against a Sadara, a Shura, and a PTS Shino, listen, it's game over. Just quit the game. As a casual player playing against somebody that's using that type of team, it's just impossible for us to even navigate through that. It doesn't even make it fun. Now, the competitive player that's behind that controller is probably having fun, but I know for sure the casual player behind the controller facing that team is not having fun. They're not at all. What they end up doing is they end up complaining about the game, and two, they end up refunding the game. So again, they end up ranting about these type of things. So now that's when I'm noticing that the Storm community is kind of divided. We have where you have the high level competitive players where they don't want ban lists, they don't believe in ban lists, and they have already their set of rules that have been set in stone in Storm for years, right? Now you have the casual side, where the casual side have been requesting a ban list for the longest. I'm telling you this because I've seen this with my own eyes for the past 2 months. I've snuck in and watched Fly Kunai's tournaments. I've seen casual players request and asked, "Hey, listen, is there any ban lists? Is there any legitimate rules for casual players?" And usually those type of questions get brushed off. Always. Actually, the famous meme now and the competitive side of Naruto Storm Connections is literally these. I think it's 3 words or 4 words. Get around it. That's it. That's literally what some of these competitive players tell the casual players that have no experience playing this game. Get around it. You cannot tell a casual player that at all. They're gonna feel discouraged. 2, it's just there's like some weird toxicity that I sense in this community. It's just very toxic. For the perfect example, Kaizen God had dropped the flyer of banning all the characters, and it was a huge list. I understand it's a very huge list. Now, I told Kaizen I'm going to create a flyer to make it look nice and pretty. When I dropped it and I added an explanation what this tournament was about, now then the competitive players and some other content creators also were like, "Oh, okay, I see what you're doing now. You're just trying to do something for the casuals." Yes, I'm trying to do something for the casuals because the casuals have been requesting for this for the longest. Even some higher level players have even asked me to do this. Henry Flo was one of the first high level players I even spoke to about this, and he even said, "I would love to try this out because I believe that there is some broken characters in this game, and sometimes it makes it not fun." And I'm like, thank you for understanding. I went around. I've studied this I've studied this for the past 2 months. I'm not well respected in the competitive side because I'm not a high level player, but I know I'm very respected in the casual side and in the content realm of Naruto Storm because I have been consistent with the content with Naruto Storm Connections. Ever since the game has been trademarked, I have been consistent. I haven't stopped ever since. So even if it's bad or good news, I talk about it. I even bash CC2 for all the broken things that are in this game. I even tell people, do not buy this game at the price that it is currently. Buy it when it's on sale. Exactly. I'm just trying to look out for everyone. That's all it is. I believe in fairness. That's honestly all I believe in. Now, again, the ban list that I created has a huge roster. It's like over almost 30 characters. I'm considering talking to Kaizen and maybe lowering down those numbers because I did have some like high level players play this tournament and I got some feedback from them and they said, "Listen, I think you should bring down the numbers down because one, there's certain things that some of these characters have that is broken, but lower level players don't know about it." So I was like, thank you, that's good feedback. I need this so I can go back in the drawing board and write, okay, listen, we need to consider maybe bringing Kankuro back. We need to consider maybe adding Hagoromo because I think Hagoromo is a balanced DLC characters where high level players think that he's kind of broken in the support side because of his whole thunderclap jutsu. Obviously, a lot of people know about it. You can sub into it 3 times. I don't think that's a problem because I never had issues against a Hagoromo player, but these are just examples. Now again, this is no disrespect to the competitive players. I respect you guys. I grew up watching some of you guys. For example, the famous Playco. I didn't know who Playco was until Afro played against him, and now I'm amazed how Playco plays in Storm 4. Now in Storm Connections, he even voiced how some of the stuff in this game is broken and CC2 needs to fix the game. This is a high-level player that said this. Now, again, no disrespect to the competitive players, but this is needed. This is well needed for the casual players because the huge number, the player base that supports this game the most is casual players. The casual players is what run the numbers for Storm in general. We all know this. The competitive side of Storm is very small. It's not huge. There's not over 1,000 competitive players. That's impossible. It's just not. It's not that huge, bro. The scene for Naruto Storm and the competitive side is not that big. It really isn't. We're all so divided. We're all scrambled. No one knows what's going on. The most you see is people bashing the game instead of just trying to help. I'm just saying, like the video and subscribe. I'm out here, guys. Peace.
You better subscribe to Nechikage's YouTube channel. If not, I won't make you Hokage, believe it.